Hey, welcome to Ancient Society. My name is Lexi.
I'm Kiva.
And welcome, Kiva. This is actually a fun, cool little guest episode.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to see what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, awesome. So obviously, as you guys can tell, Philip isn't quite around. He has been so sick today. For anybody in London, I think there's just definitely something going around, and poor Philip has been out all week. He's trying to get better to come hang out with me and celebrate my engagement, but until then, we get Kiva on the podcast.
Yeah, excited. Get well soon.
Get well soon, Philip. As much as we like Kiva, get well soon, Philip. So, Kiva, how much do you kind of know about Greek mythology, Odyssey, anything god mythic like that?
Yeah, so I was not into it as a kid, which is kind of weird because I had a lot of hyperfixations, but weirdly enough, Greek mythology was not one of them.
Fair.
I was very into like the Titanic. I think I was into like
me too.
Things like that. I don't know if animals count as a category, but I was just like a big animals like girly. And then when I did like drama classes back in the day, we would do Greek drama monologues. But I was a very bad student in that I would just do the monologue and wouldn't really delve into the story, even though I knew it was juicy. I knew something was going down, but I would just like do my character monologue and then, you know, be done with it and move on to the next. So I did read Mythos by Stephen Fry, which I absolutely loved, and it's very in the vein of this podcast, like reads like a reality show, is really really engaging. I loved it so much, but can I remember much from it? Not really. I'm very bad with books like that. Like I'll read it and be like, oh damn, and then not like take it in. So that's kind of where I'm at.
That's so fair. So I've always kind of loved it. I did the same in drama school. I think I helped assistant direct a kid show about Zeus and just him being a mess. And I loved it then, and I kind of forgot about it until recently. I found like new musical, Epic the musical about the Odyssey, and I've just really got back into it. So it's the same with me if I picked back into it as an adult.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I get back into it again because I know it's something I'd be so into, and go down Wikipedia
juicy. Like when you think about it as reality TV, it's so juicy. So it's so much fun. Well, I'm actually so excited. This one will be a fun one because recently, so there's a really big Odyssey movie coming out next summer.
Yeah, no, I'm a big movie nerd, so this feels right on theme. Also Christopher Nolan fan and a fan of lots of the people in this cast. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of get a bit of context before seeing the film.
Yeah, it should be a big one. I think it's Christopher Nolan. It has, Tom Holland as Telemachus. I think Anne Hathaway as Penelope. We just saw all the photos, Matt Damon as Odysseus. And then there's rumors from the photos of Zendaya as Athena and Robert Pattinson as Antinous.
Yeah, I'm surprised a lot of the characters haven't been confirmed yet. Everyone's kind of just guessing based off vibes, it seems like.
And I'm the most confused about Zendaya's because when she's in the photo of it, which they're everywhere, she feels very normal. And she could be easily just disguised as mortal, but she just doesn't give the power of Athena. But everyone's saying it's Athena. But I know Christopher Nolan does not like to give anything away. So it could be entirely just throwing us off.
Yes, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I think people are really going into the photos and just like digging out. But I am curious because I did see a lot of people talk about the costumes. And I don't know if this was something we were going to get into, but I was wondering how, as a Greek myths fan, like how much do you care about the accuracy? But then I'm also like, is there such thing as accuracy when myths are myths, you know?
I'm curious about that too. I feel like I've seen a lot of comments saying just asking for some more color. I think that's the biggest thing. Like you can't be too 100% accurate with the costumes, but I think just a little bit more color. Everything that we've seen has looked kind of plain.
Kind of beige.
Yeah. So I think there's like a little bit more of, I don't know, maybe that like Greek or Sicily bright blue or yellow or just something a bit more colorful to it than the beige. But like I said, this is just very, very few select photos. We don't have a trailer out yet. I'm so excited to see where it comes. But I'm curious how he's going to do all of the Odyssey in 3 hours. And I mean, this is about to be like a 10-part series at this point, just to try to go through everything. So ready to start learning some of it?
I'm so ready. Bring it on. Do you have a theme song?
Yeah.
Okay, exciting.
So cute. Okay, so before we get into it, I do want to make a couple of points. This, like I said, is likely going to be like a 7 to 10 part series because the Odyssey is long as hell. tell. But I will do my best. I'll go through it, try to make it engaging and fun. I am going to go through it in Odysseus' story's chronological order, so really through his trip. So when it comes to the actual book from Homer, I'm going to be starting with book 9.
Okay, so Homer's book, it jumps around timelines a lot.
It jumps around. It's 24 books.
Oh, sounds very Christopher Nolan, though.
Yeah.
Like, so Christopher Nolan.
I think Christopher Nolan will go with the poems, the Homer's poem story, because it starts with Telemachus, and then you get a little bit of the Odysseus, and then you get Odysseus telling what happened before, and then everything comes together for the last 10 books.
Okay.
So it's a little bit out of place. I'm just going to cut it, make it easy, and do chronological of Odysseus' trip. And then the second thing is that this is a fun, entertaining, creative, gossipy podcast. So it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to be taking bits and pieces from all sorts of different stories, including Homer's or Emily Wilson's translation. Going to be taking a little bits from Epic the Musical because that's just so much fun. I might throw in some Hades Town a little bit in the underworld. Any just fan fiction, it just something to make it funnier and gossipier. So this will not be exact retelling of the Odyssey. If you do want to really dig into actually the Odyssey, its characters, any themes or narratives, there's a great podcast called Let's Talk About Myths, Baby by Liv Albert, who is a classics major, and she actually really digs deep into the main story of it.
Okay.
But anyway, let's get into the gossip story of it.
Of course.
So this all comes from finishing off the 10-year Trojan War and just completely destroying and sacking the city of Troy, which is a whole other podcast episode in itself. But 10-year war, Odysseus is leading his men back on the long journey home. And so Odysseus is one of the legend heroes of Greek mythology. I'm sure anybody who has heard a single thing about Greek mythology has at least heard of Odysseus. He's the king of Ithaca. He's known for his wit, his intelligence. He's kind of like a little bit of a troublemaker rascal in the hero world. He's fairly logical and loyal, but just like a little hero, like a mortal hero, he does have some weaknesses.
Yeah, we love that. We love to hear that nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Not even Odysseus. So.
Love an unreliable narrator.
Yes.
Love all of it. And he was a key point in Trojan War. He brought in Achilles into the war, which helped them a big part. I mean, Achilles is known for just being this warrior. And he came up with the idea of the Trojan horse.
Of course.
Which
yes,
everyone
iconic.
knows about. But this wit and strategy actually makes him a favorite of goddess Athena, who is goddess of war strategy. Mm-hmm. And so anything that is not just pure fighting, has a little bit of strategic resource behind it, Athena loves. And so it kind of forms this weird, like, on a healthy side, it's a mentor-mentee.
Okay.
On an unhealthy side, it's like a power dynamic grooming relationship.
Interesting. And does that develop over like a long period of time? That she's initially like, ooh, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I want to find out more, and then sees him become this.
It does. She really kind of takes him in under her own. There's little bits of Athena still kind of learning as well. And so she'll at times leave or not trust him. But then other times she will show goddess favoritism to him.
Okay.
And even carry it over to his son, Telemachus, at some point. So it ends up just being this whole family. But it's a weird favoritism by the god on this just mortal man.
Okay. Interesting.
So it's a weird one.
Yeah.
But she loves him. She's helped out with this war. A lot of the gods helped out in this war, and so she really backed Odysseus. But after the war, Odysseus is leading his crew of about 600 people back home to Ithaca, where his wife Penelope, and at this point his about 10-year-old son Telemachus, Tom Holland, and Anne Hathaway are waiting for him.
Okay, I'm seeing, the dots are connecting.
You can start to put the faces to it now.
I think great casting, I would say. I don't know, I think when you think of a young Matt Damon, kind of the cheeky, chappy look that Tom Holland definitely has. So, really good casting.
And Anne Hathaway just does scream Penelope of like royal, resourceful, beautiful, just like a queen, a true queen.
Yeah.
In this crew that he's taking back are two friends of his. One is his brother-in-law Eurylochus, and the other is his bestie Polites.
Bestie Polites.
Bestie.
I love that.
And with anything in Greek mythology, you never actually know if it's besties. They're a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So they could be a little bit more.
Okay. He was like, Polites is coming back with me.
He's like, you're on my boat.
Yes.
You're staying with me. So they leave Troy and they start this journey home. And the first thing that happens immediately is a massive storm comes through and separates Odysseus and all of his men from Agamemnon, all of these other giants that are leaving the war. And so it just really isolates Odysseus and his men, carries him over to the city of Ismarus, which is where this is where I'm struggling to learn how to say these words. Syconas live?
Yeah, I would say that sounds about right.
Syconas?
Yeah. Sycones. So there are people. Are they a people?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So there are people living on this island of Ismarus.
Okay. I can't help you with the pronunciation. I'm so sorry. But let's go with Sycones.
Sycones.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
So they had actually allied themselves with the Trojans.
Okay.
So already when Odysseus' men get to this island, they're like, oh, they're enemies.
Oh, no shit.
Immediate enemies.
So were they kind of pulling up being like, oh, well, at least there's land and we're safe from the storm, but then also...
enemies.
Yeah.
Kind of stuck between the two.
Oh, God. Okay.
But Odysseus' men just won the war against this group. So they're on like an after party high.
Okay.
A winning high. Like
Amazing.
anytime you leave a good show, a good party, anything you put on, you just have this extra endorphins. You think nothing can take you down.
Of course.
And so they see this and they're like, oh, this is the after party. Like the clubs are closed. This is the after party.
Okay.
We're still winning. Let's just take this town too.
Oh my God. So they weren't finished.
They were not done.
Okay.
They were looking for an after party, look for the afters. They show up and just don't know when to let the party end. And so when they see this enemy territory and a perfect city to take over, they launch a surprise attack, easily take over the city.
Okay. I was going to say, was it like an easy, did they have enough men? It was just like, we're winning this.
It was like a city, like a seaside village almost, and you have 600 warriors. So super easy. They come in, they kill a lot of the men, and then they take a lot of the livestock and treasure. But Odysseus is the only one that is still kind of maintaining a head on his shoulders. Is like, okay, they have one person here, Meron. He's the priest that's serving the god Apollo. We should keep him and his family safe.
Okay.
And so he like guards them aside, puts them aside. Meron thanks him by giving him a bunch of gifts. Like, here's all this gold, his silver, which I feel so bad you're thanking this person for saving you as they're destroying the city around you.
It must have been so horrible.
Like, the survivor's guilt, all of it.
Yeah.
But he's caring about his family, obviously. So here's gold, here's silver. And then he gives him 12 large jugs of the strongest wine you have ever tasted in your life.
Oh my God. What are the effects of this wine? Is it just like percentage off the charts?
Like,
kind of?
percentage off the charts, it should be diluted, I believe, 1 to 20 of this wine and water.
Oh my God.
Like, Dionysus himself made this wine. Like, it's strong as fuck.
Okay, so he was giving this as like, here's like an extra little gift for you.
Like, you saved my family. Thank you. So gave this gift, and then Odysseus tries to get his group and be like, hey, we killed men, we got treasure, we got food, we got supplies, let's leave. Group, yet again, does not know when to call a party quits.
Oh my God.
And so they
just go home, you guys.
Like, at some point, the clubs close. At some point, you gotta leave the house. Like, was it nothing good happens after 2 a.m.?
Honestly, yeah. Especially with that alcohol as well.
No.
Does that come into the mix in a bad way? I'm scared.
So they're drinking bits of it, but they're diluting it. They're being a bit better, but they're definitely drinking everything they get their hands on. It truly is. I don't know if you know the TikTok sound. They're like 9 shots. It's like, no, babe, I don't want to leave. I want to stay dancing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So they are just partying and feasting all night on the beach, having the best time. At the same time, the Sycones went and regrouped with neighboring allies. The few that made it out alive found their neighbors who are actual legit skilled warriors, and they all regrouped and planned their counterattack.
Oh.
But just listening in the distance, you're hearing the club music of Odysseus' men celebrating.
Yeah. They think that their guards are kind of down at this point, would you say? Okay.
100%. And so these men regroup, they let them go through the night, and then right as the morning hits, a counterattack.
Oh my God.
So these men went from the highest highs of we won a 10-year war, we sacked a city, to the most hungover, anxiety-inducing awake.
Imagine being attacked like that when you're hungover, like on the beach after a party. No,
I can't even get out of bed, and you're telling me there's warriors coming down the mountain? Absolutely not. So they obviously finally lost a war. Did not do well on that one. I mean, you've been that hungover, you've been drinking Dionysus's wine, barely slept because you've been partying. I'm not doing well in a fight.
Yeah, no.
So they run and they retreat, but they did lose about 70 men.
Okay. How many was there, sorry, to begin with?
About 600.
600?
Yeah.
Okay, so 70 men, yeah. Okay.
It's a decent chunk.
Decent chunk, yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure they were all very close. I don't know if they would have been back then, but when you're just celebrating and you're all kind of like, you know, that's gotta hurt, right?
Yeah, you're fighting together for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much just the very first thing on this trip is just a massive, massive blow. Like morale is so low, the trust is gone, it's just starting low. So they leave, they slowly row their boats away, sad as... You know, the other people are now partying on the beach.
Yeah.
And so the next place that they make it to, they're, again, back on their way home from Ithias, but the gods are not too stoked with how these guys have been acting.
I was going to say, I was like, someone's going to spill. I can't remember, the priest, like, he's got connections.
Yeah,
you know?
He had Apollo behind him.
Yeah, so that was kind of silly.
Just... how they act the city of Troy and how they act this, they're just so disrespectful and such dudes that all the gods are like, how dare they?
Yeah.
Even Zeus is like, how do they have the audacity to be acting like this?
Yes, of course. And I guess just on a wider like context, right? Generally in these Greek stories, the gods, if humans or mortals ever acted beyond their capabilities, it was like a big like, oh, you stepped out a line.
Yes.
You think you're godlike, but you're actually put us back in your place.
That is such a recurring theme of gods being like, we're the god. Who do you think you are to try?
So they'll allow them to do battles, wars, up to a certain extent, I guess?
It's like a disrespect.
Okay.
Like once temples are involved, once it comes to going beyond what you should be doing after a fight, like obviously take some of the gold, but relax. Once it just comes to a certain extent, gods are pretty much just like, okay, chill.
Yeah.
Like, relax. And so they just need to humble them a little bit. So Zeus does that, humbles them. He sends them on a 9-day storm.
Another storm?
Another storm. And 9 days, it was bad enough that they actually had to stop for 2 days and just try to recover to go back out to the storm again.
Oh, so they were given a bit of respite.
Like a little bit of resting
back
time.
in.
And then just kidding. It was Kendrick back-to-back songs. Did not let him breathe. They finally land on a place that feels like paradise.
Okay.
And
sounds suspicious already.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Like a little bit too good to be true.
Yeah.
But Odysseus is very torn between what to do. And he has kind of like the devil and the angel on his shoulder. And he has Eurylochus and Polites. Eurylochus is still in battle mode. So Eurylochus is like, we have 500 some people. We can just run up on them. Like, we can defeat them. We sacked a city before. We can take their stuff and we can go. Polites is like, we could have been gentle and not sacked the last city, and they might have given us more wine. Like, they might have been kind if we were kind to them.
Okay, interesting. So he's dealing with these two kind of...
Yeah, of do you attack a place immediately, or do you wait it out and try to talk to someone and see what to do?
Okay.
And it actually goes... So this is part of the musical that has these two, but a big part of the actual Homer story is this idea of kind of hospitality and guest gifts. Okay. Like, do you give someone a drink or something when they come to your place?
Is that what the, like, whole message is fundamentally saying?
That's what a big message in the Odyssey is that hospitality and guest giving.
Damn, it feels like it's still a theme that I think about every day. When, like, if I'm going to a friend's house, or it's like one of those things that you always have at the back of your mind, right? Or you're, like,
100%.
overthinking what you bring, or... Yeah, that's crazy that was such a big theme.
And that's a big thing of they really kind of say the good versus the bad is who takes you in and is hospitable versus who eats your food and takes your things or sacks a city. Like, that's kind of really a big differentiator of good versus evil.
Okay, interesting.
And so you have this too, and this is what I really like about the musical is that he did find a way to put this in.
Okay, I'm going to say I'm a big musical person and I have not seen this
you have
musical.
to listen.
How can... so I listened to it.
It's brand new.
Oh, it's brand new, because
new.
I was kind of on when Hadestown first
emerged.
Hadestown. I was in drama society at the time, so it was all anyone was talking about when the first like concept album came out.
Yes,
and it was incredible. So now, well, thank you for giving me a new musical to. I mean, is it kind of post Hades Town, they're like, okay, we should tap into this? Or is this just like a...
I mean, that might have been an inspiration for him, but it is entirely on the Odyssey.
It's a whole different story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the music style? Sorry?
Oh, it changes for every character.
Oh, stop. That's amazing. Because, I mean, Hades Town has it has like an identity in terms of its music style and inspiration. So, okay. No, well, I know what I'll be listening to.
Every character is a different music style.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's so cool.
That's
but
so cool.
he puts in this idea of Eurylochus and Polites as kind of the two differentiators. And so Odysseus kind of leans into they kind of hate each other because they want different things. And Odysseus listens a bit more to Polites.
Is that because of what you talked about earlier?
Potentially?
A little bit.
Maybe.
Okay.
I think so.
But I'm glad he's listening to Polites because I agree with him more.
So with that, and going back a bit more to Homer's, instead of sending a whole army, he sends out 2 warriors and a diplomat. And he's like, you 3 go. The 3 go, never come back. And so on the ship, Eurylochus is like, I told you.
Yeah. I told you. Now he's gonna have the upper hand.
He's like, I was right.
Like, you tried to be all peaceful,
and they never came back.
Jeez.
So finally, Odysseus goes and tries to hunt them down, and all 3 of them had gone in. They met a group of people. The group of people seemed nice. They seemed friendly. They were hospitable. They gave them a guest gift of fruit, and that fruit was the lotus, which pretty much just makes them absolutely high as hell.
Okay.
It's like they've forgotten their entire mission. They've forgotten any pain. They forgot the people that were just killed in the last place. And they're just in the most peaceful, content paradise ever.
Oh, I thought it'd be so much worse than that.
No.
That sounds kind of nice.
It's nice, but you're so stuck there.
Okay.
Everything else doesn't matter. Like all your kids and family and wives at home in Ithaca, they forgot about.
So it's like all that matters is right now in this very moment. Yeah.
It's just so high.
Whoa. Okay, and was the lotus used a lot within like Greek myth as like a symbol of... Because in my head I associate it with like Buddhism and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, which actually kind of makes sense.
Maybe true.
But yeah, I have an association with it as like a symbol of peace or a symbol of relaxation, but
which is just this too.
Now that I think about it,
it is. I do think that the use of it comes from Homer's The Odyssey.
Okay.
I think that this is the origin of it, but it is used often, especially in a lot more modern, like Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. It is used commonly.
Okay.
But Odysseus is like, I have a wife at home. I have Penelope. Anne Hathaway's hot as hell.
So he still remembers his family throughout all of this time.
All this time.
Okay.
All he wants to do is get home to his wife.
I mean, this is going to be a great film. I can see Matt Damon just being like, my family. Like,
desperate over Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, amazing.
And so he refuses the fruit and pretty much drags these 3 men, like, screaming, crying, throwing up back to the boat. They do not want to go back.
Oh, no.
To the point that the crew has to tie them to the boat because they're just desperately trying to get back to that high.
And are they literally crawling, scratching?
Yes.
Like, oh my god.
And Odysseus is just dragging one of them one at a time back. And then Odysseus says, nobody else go out. We're leaving right now. Like,
this is...
Start rowing.
Yeah. I mean, I admire him for getting them. Like, he obviously is kind of a, like, leave no man behind kind of energy.
Yeah.
So he did that, you know?
Yes.
He got those men back.
This whole Odyssey is 20 years. He starts the 20 years as a great leader.
Oh, see, this is what I was going to say at the beginning.
Yes.
When you were talking about him as, like, the best-known hero, I think they always have, and you say flaws, I feel like you're going to get into the flaws, right? And then I'm going to start rethinking how I feel about him.
I mean, if 20 years going through what he's going through, I'd be having flaws show up too.
Okay, fair.
I'd be that too.
Yeah.
But he is still just a man.
It's just, yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
But so they leave, they rush out, and then this is the biggest part of this book 9. The first 3 stories of all of the Odyssey is, and remember, I am blending stories a bit. This will be a real big blend of one. They blow up to the island of the Cyclops.
Okay.
And with this...
love the Cyclops. He's a good guy, right?
He is a good one.
Yeah.
Well... every character in this is a character.
Yeah. I see, this is the thing that I think when you get into, like, Greek stuff, it's like, you can't really have faves, right? Because they're all, like, they're so grey. They're in such a grey area. They're, like, good or bad. So I need to kind of, like, get rid of that kind of, like, notion that I have. Like, who's my fave? It's like, okay, I don't really think you can have
probably
faves.
shouldn't have had them as my fave.
Yeah, exactly.
But they put something of Cyclops where Odysseus is slightly a little bit racist.
To the Cyclops.
About the Cyclops.
Is there like a racism against part animal people? Is that a thing?
I'd say
Or
so.
monster types? Monster types? I don't know what monster types are.
At least for this, Odysseus pretty much describes them as like this rough and uncivilized race of one-eyed giants. And they live in caves, and they're primarily shepherds, and they're known for being inhospitable and loners, live in isolation, all these things. Like, just doesn't, pretty much says that their land and everything, the Greeks could take better care of it than they do.
Interesting.
So just looking down on them before he even makes it to the island.
Okay. And that's very interesting. Very also relevant today. I feel like you feel like that kind of language feels kind of relevant.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so they go and they eat some wild goat from a separate island offshore. Again, though, it's just never enough for these Greek men. And so, like, we want more. We want more of these wild goats. Obviously, it's a great land. We want to see more. And so they go into the mainland and find a cave. And this cave is filled with sheeps and crates of milk and cheese, and of course just welcome themselves in. And I would see that. Right. Yeah, I would see that. I would think, oh, someone obviously lives here enough to have these crates of cheese, but they just help themselves on in.
Okay. Guys, come on. Have you not learned your lesson by now? Honestly.
Some of them did learn a bit of a lesson. They're like, let's steal some stuff and leave. Odysseus, I think, is leaning on to Polites' like, hey, be friendly and talk to people mindset. And so he's like, no, let's sit, let's wait for the owner to come back. Maybe he'll be hospitable, maybe he'll give us a guest gift.
Okay.
And so they sit and they wait, and they do end up killing a couple of his sheep in there and just eating those. Finally, the owner of the cave, Polyphemus, who is the son of Poseidon and a Cyclops.
Oh, okay. So Poseidon has a Cyclops son?
Yes.
I feel like I remember this from Mythos. Yeah, there was some crazy stuff going on there.
It was crazy. But he comes back in and before he sees anyone, he closes the cave door, which to him is just a door. To everybody else is this massive stone. And so he comes in, closes it. And a little bit about Polyphemus, he's a little bit of a weird one. So like, he is a lot more chill than most of the Cyclops. He's very gentle, especially with all of his sheep and his ram. He has a name for them. He has a favorite ram that is his best friend. Like, really cares gently for these. And he even has a little crush on a sea nymph. And he chews on mint so that his breath doesn't smell as bad when he goes to flirt with her.
Oh, that's so sweet. So
he's like a little like sweetheart of the Cyclops. Because of it, the others don't really take him that seriously and kind of even bully him.
Even though he's the son of Poseidon. I feel like that would surely give him some kind of street cred,
You would think. But
he's still a bit of a loser to them.
Still a bit of a loser, a bit of a loner. Like, really, these sheep are his friends.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And so, I mean, if you come home one day and a bunch of random men are in your home, they've killed your pets, killed your friends, taken your food. Like, what are you
not
gonna
the
do?
Pets, not the pets.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna take kindly to that. Like, I'm losing my mind. Yeah. And then to make that worse, they're just sitting in his living room, chilling like they did nothing wrong.
Yeah, like, hey, how are you?
Hey, where's our welcome wine?
What's going on? Yeah, that's
Where's our guest gift? And so they're trying to be, in their version, hospitable and friendly, but Polyphemus wants none of it. And so he actually full on just eats 2 of them on the spot and then puts the rest of them in a cage for future meals.
Including Odysseus.
Including Odysseus.
Whoa.
That's... You guys broke into my home, you killed my favorite sheep, you're stealing my stuff.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Like, not at all. Like, you're stealing all of my home.
Yeah.
Odysseus is ready immediately to fight, but he's very aware that Polyphemus is the only one strong enough to open the front door, that rock. And so he's like, okay, we can't do it just yet. We have to set something up. And so the next day, Polyphemus wakes up, eats 2 more of these men for breakfast.
Oh my god.
One of these men being Polites.
Polites!
Kills Polites.
Oh no.
Kills the bestie.
Oh my god. Is it very gruesome? I don't know how much in detail they go into like were all the men watching as this happened? Was it very explicit?
All the men were watching.
Oh,
so
God.
in Homer's The Odyssey, he's just eating random men 2 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
In the musical, Epic the Musical, it's actually a really big fight between the men and Polyphemus, and he just smashes them.
Like a mallet, kind of.
Right. Giant club right in front of everyone, right there.
Damn. I mean, is this part... We don't know if this part is going to be in the Nolan film. We don't know, right?
I feel like the cave part of it will be. This is a major turning point.
Okay, so I have a feeling if this film is like...
It's going to be gruesome.
It's going to be gruesome, for sure. Yeah. And I feel like we're going to get some heavy Oscar acting from Mr. Matt Damon.
Yeah. Then he heads out to take care of his sheep. Just a normal day for him. Odysseus is on fire now. Over it, angry, so mad. They take a wooden staff and they harden it in the corner with fire. So when Polyphemus returned, Odysseus was really smart in bringing his jugs of wine, just in case. Oh, yeah. And so he turns into like a little bestie hype man of Polyphemus. He's like, how about you try some of our wine?
I love this strategy. I would so turn to this strategy too. I'd be like, let me just kind of befriend
this Dionysus level
the person
wine.
Keeping me trapped. Yeah.
So he's like, just keep drinking.
Oh, so
and anytime
clever.
Polyphemus is like, no, I gotta work tomorrow. Just keep drinking. There's another shot. What's another round?
Oh my God.
And Polyphemus turns into this like true bestie. He's like, oh my God, I love you. This is great. Like girl in a bar bathroom. He's like, what's your name?
Yay.
Who are you? What's your name?
Oh,
What's your
that's so
Instagram?
good.
Let's be best friends.
Yeah.
Odysseus says, oh, my name is Nobody.
Okay.
And Polyphemus like, nobody. I love you. I'll eat you last.
Oh, so great. This is what bestie status means for Polyphemus.
Is he'll eat you last. You watch all of your friends die first. So he gets so drunk and passes out that Odysseus and the men drive that red hot staff into his eye. His one eye. Completely blinding him.
Oh, shit.
But here's where the strategy is actually so funny to me. All of the other Cyclops, he's screaming, crying, obviously blinded, can't see anything. All the other Cyclops come in and they're like, hey, oh my God, Polyphemus, what's happening? Who hurt you? What is going on? And he's like, nobody hurt me. Nobody's killing me. Nobody is here injuring me.
So why did he do that?
That was Odysseus told him his name was Nobody.
Nobody.
So he's like, oh my God, yeah, nobody is here killing me. Nobody is hurting me.
Oh my God, they must have been like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell? Yeah. Nobody?
Oh no.
Like, if nobody's hurting you, shut up. Like, let us go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And so they're like, if nobody's hurting you, we can't do anything. Like, shut up.
Oh, that's
And so
crazy.
They just leave. They don't do anything. Leave. They don't check. They
didn't care
leave.
much about him anyway, right? So it's like, we're checking on you, but we're not gonna...
But once you say that nobody's hurting you, we're out.
Yeah, damn.
And so they leave, and poor Polyphemus is just there blinded. And so Odysseus's men, to escape, have to tie themselves to the bottom of his sheep. So the next morning, Polyphemus, to let his sheep out, opens the door just enough for sheep to go through. And he feels the top of each sheep.
Because he's blind.
He's blind now.
Oh my God.
To make sure that the men aren't escaping. The men have tied themselves to the bottom of his sheep. And the last one to leave is Odysseus tied himself to the bottom of Polyphemus's favorite ram. And even Polyphemus at one point is like, Ram, my friend, you're normally the first person out today. Like, it's a little weird that you're the last one to leave, but you're my friend. Go ahead. With Odysseus tied up underneath him.
Oh my God.
And so they escape, and this is where Odysseus starts to lose his cool, his leadership a little bit. On their way out, they get on board all the boats and they start leaving. Odysseus gets a bit arrogant, and he's yelling out to Polyphemus, like taunting him. It's like, we escaped.
Oh no, I can visualize
We're
that.
on the water.
I can visualize them like doing a little dance around him, and he's just losing his mind.
You can't see us.
Yeah.
You can't get us.
God.
And so Polyphemus just starts chucking rocks over. In the sound of the voice, he can hear where he's at, throwing rocks out, just trying to hit him. Almost sinks the ship, but doesn't. So Odysseus is like, one more taunt. In this taunt, this is the dumbest thing Odysseus does the whole story, is he's like, hey, remember who blinded you? I'm not Nobody. My name is Odysseus, son of Laertes, king of Ithaca. My wife is Penelope. My son is Telemachus. My social security number is this. My address. The code on the back of my credit card is like telling him all the information that he possibly could about himself.
Yeah.
As a way of taunting. All of his men are just like, Odysseus, shut up, please.
Chill.
Like,
shut
please
up.
stop.
Yeah.
But tells him everything that he needs to know for Polyphemus to pray to his father Poseidon and curse him.
Oh no. And then does it all go downhill? Well, it's been
not
pretty
great,
downhill. But that's kind of the the marker.
You now have Poseidon's son asking him to make your life hell.
Oh my god.
Because you had to taunt him and tell him everything about you.
It's so classic though. It's probably the part, if I was reading this in a story or watching it in a film, that I'd be like, shut up, like you're screaming at this character to like not do it, but it just makes so much sense for their character.
Right. It's the like, please don't go to the basement. Please don't do this. Like
please don't turn around.
The worst secondhand embarrassment that you can get. But it is where it just continues on a downward spiral.
Okay. Damn.
But that is just one of the 24 books of the Odyssey. That is 24. Book 9.
From my like brief looking at the Odyssey, like I know it sounds like it's just like Odysseus just goes through, like he just gets beat down. And it's but after hearing this, I'm like, a lot of the times he's kind of not asking for it. Sounds really bad, but he's not making you feel like he didn't deserve it a lot of the time.
He's not doing the best to get it. I think that's a really cool thing about Odysseus, and I think that's why this story has lasted so long, is it truly is a story of like just a man, and he's not perfect, he's not great, he has a lot of flaws. Like you can really see the morally grayness to him. You can see him both improving and deteriorating. Like you get to really understand a lot, even if you don't quite like the narrator, the main character. You get to see a lot of where he's coming from. Okay. And then so might be a spoiler alert, but after he goes through everything, is he just a different being? Is he just completely changed from everything he's been through? You can't be yourself after all of that. After 20 years of this travel, and this is just the first little bit of it, you can't stay yourself.
So this curse, does it kind of follow him for the rest? Or is there a certain moment that's like, the curse is striking?
It just kind of follows him. Like just everything bad that could happen. There is Poseidon actually coming after him, but it is just everything bad that could happen happens.
I will say the strategy, the get out plan was really clever. I'll give him that. You know, it was very smart, and I love a story that calls back to like a previous moment. So that wine obviously serving
Bringing
its purpose.
That back.
Yeah, mad.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you'll like the movie. I'm so excited. I think as the movie comes closer, I'll do more of these, of like 2 to 3 of these stories at a time.
Yeah.
Because this is such a cool, long story, and I'm really just so excited to see how it comes up in the movie.
Yeah, and I think if people kind of get a bit of an intro, I mean, Christopher Nolan's films can be quite complicated sometimes, and he can go down the route of, I'm not going to explain anything to you. You're just going to have to figure out who these characters are. There's going to be 30 different names that you're going to have to remember, and I feel like something like this will help people. A
story this long, he'll have to kind of ignore some of the backstory just to be able to put all of it into a movie.
Yeah, no,
I'm good to know.
I'm so excited. Wait, one question though.
Yes.
Going back to Athena, if Zendaya is playing Athena, this whole like grooming narrative, how is that gonna work?
I think that's what's really throwing people off in the picture, is that she does not look strong or buff or intimidating next to Matt Damon. Yeah,
and it's also, I don't want to look at it as an age thing, because I know it's God versus man, so it should be seen as like a different kind of status.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that casting is interesting to me. If they were to go down this like favoritism route, I just don't see that kind of working, but
it'll also
who knows? I'm ready to be surprised.
Interesting, her favoring her own like husband or fiance. Tom Holland as Telemachus.
So true.
That'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't think about that part. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing it all unfold. So.
But thanks so much for checking out this story with me.
Thank you for telling me.
I'm gonna have to retell it all to Philip later, so I hope he's ready for this. But I'm so glad you got to come by for it.
Thank you so much, Lexi. This was super fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.